Welcome back, termites. It's night 28, and we're going to go with a little Crown Royal Peach in honor of who? Carrot Top. It's his favorite thing in the whole world. Well, not the peach part, just Crown Royal. And then mix it with iced tea. Lou likes that one, Tiva, so I buy that. I'm not a big iced tea person, but sometimes in the summer, we're not there yet, preparing for sitting at home drinking. Iced tea and this, like an Arnold Palmer, with a little more pizzazz. If you hear something in the background, that is rain and thunder. Tulips, still working. Okay, really worth $12 if you see those at Lowe's in the garden area. I'm not sure they're $12.99 there. They were at Kroger. They might even be cheaper at Lowe's. I don't know. But if you see them, it's not a trick. It works. So we're at the point in the book where her father, Daddy has decided he's going to sell all his tools, take that money, and go to Vegas and win 25 grand, because that's the money number, the idea he got, that's what he needs to compete with the big fellas for a record deal. Here we go. He auctioned off all of his tools, and his friends knew that was trouble because that's a man's lifeline. So he auctioned them all off. Last thing he said was, I'm never going to use them tools again. I'm sick to death of this life. Then he added, I'm going to get Tanya on Columbia Records with or without the help of those LA fellas. That's where we left off. Then he went to the bank and drew out all he had, which was about $600. Whoo, we are $24,400 away from 25 grand. Even I don't think I could take $600 and definitely not in video poker, and not even at craps. You can't turn that into 25 grand. No. Maybe a slot if it was random. He left Mother with the money he'd gotten for the tools and drove 3 hours to Vegas. He had it in his mind that keno! Oh my God. If you're a gambler, keno doesn't enter. You play keno when you eat breakfast. He decided he'd love for that to be his game. After all, the stakes are high, and if you play the same number over and over and over, you'd have to win, wouldn't you? No, take it from the lady that plays 8 games every time I go into a diner. I pick 3 numbers because I read that that's payoff versus how many numbers you pick. Like in your mind, you go, well, why don't I pick a ton of numbers? Because you won't win that much. So he's just going to play 1, which would be the highest payoff, but I think there's 60 numbers on a keno board. They only choose like 10, maybe 15, I don't really know, something like that. Not a lot. Dad gambled straight through for 3 days, drinking the casino's free coffee to stay awake. By the time he'd lost $600, his nerves were just jangled up on caffeine, and he was badly in need of a shave and a shower. But he still believed he could win. So he did the unthinkable. I can't even imagine, because so far what he's done to me is unthinkable. So let's just take this to a whole nother level. He phoned Mother and said, bring everything we got left to Vegas. She was mad as hell, but she came to Vegas with the money. That's because women didn't have any rights back then. She couldn't even get her own credit card or get her own property. So you know what? You're stuck with Bo. Here's your movie. Choose carefully. That's all I'm saying. It was back to keno and down $347. He had $3 left and betted on a 3 spot. 1 number. It hit. And he slowly made his way back up to 100. Mother wasn't even there watching him. She was so disgusted, she'd gone out to the car to sleep, something you wouldn't dare do these days. I'd be more inclined to do it now than back then. There's cameras everywhere. Just go back to the parking lot and circus. It's fine. Totally safe. He'd been within $3 of having nothing. No grocery money, no paycheck, and no tools to get a job with. He went back in and woke Mother up. Let's get the hell out of this town while we can still eat. Dad didn't sleep that night. They got home in the early hours of the morning, and Mother crawled into bed. Dad did too, but the sound of the old air conditioner seemed to keep calling out the keno numbers. 9, 6, 10. The next morning when Mother got up, he was already up having coffee. We're moving to Las Vegas, Juanita, he announced, looking like he'd been on a 3-day roll, and of course he had. She just groaned. I can imagine. After all of this, the idea is, we're not having a lot of luck. Let's just move here. He got it in her head. We're not going there to gamble. Okay. That's what we all say in the beginning. Las Vegas has show business people in and out of there all the time. Somebody's going to help us. Then he added, we can't pay our rent here next month anyway. Oh. Okay. Moving from St. George was hard for me. I loved my life there and I had many friends. I was leaving behind, but I knew we had to go. Dad and I had already been at crossroads and I'd made my decision. If this career could change, if I was to get this career that could change our lives, I had to be in close proximity to people who could help. St. George, Utah was not the place. Well, I agree with them on this. Yes, I get the thinking. Shoo, buddy. We packed up and headed for Las Vegas with less than $100. Dad drove around Henderson, which is a residential part of Las Vegas, and scouted out places we might rent. Then, on Navajo Drive, we saw a double-wide trailer with a covered porch and a neatly landscaped yard. It had a for sale sign in the front yard with a contact name, Mr. Day. Mother took one look at the for sale sign and asked, Bo, how can we do this? We don't have any money. He shook his head and said, I'll think of something. I would have to take so much Xanax to live with this man because I am a responsible person and I like to have a plan. I mean, I can be impulsive and have fun, but mostly Catholic school rule follower. Shoo. Or edibles. I just have to eat edibles all day, and I'm not even a pot person, but I don't know what would calm me down around this person. I'll think of something. Then he went to a payphone and called Mr. Day. The trailer seemed like heaven to us once we got inside. It was clean and bright. It was owned by a woman in Arkansas whose husband had left her, signing over the trailer in the divorce. Daddy sat down with Mr. Day and explained our situation in his usual blunt way. Sir, I'm sure this speech had been given a lot. Sir, I don't have any money. We don't even have $100 to our name, he said right up front. But I've got this little girl who can sing, and I believe she's going to be a star. No pressure on an 11-year-old. Look, young lady, if you don't sing good, we're not going to have anywhere to live. Okay. So that's what was going on in the Tucker household. I hope you guys, this Crown Royal Peach is kind of hard to find. They sell out quickly. So if you want to try it, if you see it, you should buy it when you see it, because all of a sudden it'll just be gone. My friend Tim in Atlanta got me this bottle. All right, well, we're going to do our round white sign off. Oh, I didn't show you my shirt. My Aspen Comedy Festival shirt. The Wheeler Opera House. Super cool venue. My friends Amanda and Mandy gave this to me. It was in my little welcome bag. Mandy? Was it a Mandy? Manny? I forgot. Sorry. But I remember your brother was the bartender, and we went to that bar afterwards, and it was super cool, and it was a lot of fun at that bar, and I stayed way, way, way too late because I had an early flight. But anyway, you know, I'm never going to turn down a free T-shirt and a welcome bag. I get way too excited for somebody my age. If I rummage through the bag and there's no T-shirt, I'm like, wow, wow. Sad times with no free T-shirts. Aspen, boom, I don't ski, but I did do a lot of chalet drinking. So there you go. I don't like the cold, but I did enjoy Aspen. It's beautiful. It's like a Hallmark movie, except a little more expensive, I'd say. Okay, in the words of Ron White, what do we say? Night-night, termites.